no matter how good of a person you are, no matter how respectful you are, no matter how kind you are, you will always end up being the bad guy in someone's story, and there's nothing that you can do to change that. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones, and I have worked with people who have suffered abuse and who have been perpetrators of abuse and violence. And one of the things that I have noticed is that over the years, and working with people who perpetrate violence and abuse on other people, a lot of times they struggle with paranoia, and they definitely struggle with being very ego-centered. And when someone is very ego-centered and they're abusive or they do bad things to other people, one of the things that happens is they automatically assume that everybody else operates and thinks the way that they do. They can't see beyond that, oh, this could actually be a good person. In fact, they may even struggle with being more distrustful or more paranoid or more focused on conducting a smear campaign the better your character is. And so they will try to invoke you to be violent. They try to cause you to act out and to lash out physically, and that's why reactive abuse can definitely be a thing, because a person that is extremely toxic will sit there and poke the bear and poke the bear and poke the bear to try to gauge a reaction, because they are looking to see, hey, I know you're just like me, prove me right. I know. And that they do this for a number of reasons, right? And they tear down, they attack your character, and they continue to poke the bear. One of the reasons that they do this is they want to justify doing what they have done to you. So if you lash out, if you act out in some way that's negative, even if it, quote unquote, justified, that sort of justifies in their mind, like, hey, oh, you're just like me. I knew it was there, and you just proved me right. So it's like they want that confirmation from you. And then the other thing too, this speaks to a level of emotional immaturity. And again, I go back to when someone is very ego-centered, they are so stuck in their centeredness, and willing to like look outside of that, willing to be open-minded and to see what a person is really about. They're stuck on the fact that everyone is as emotionally immature as they are. Of course, they don't look at it as emotional immaturity. They just look at it as like, oh, people just operate the way that I do. And they have significant trust issues. But also, too, there's something about like, toxic. There's a saying, actually, misery loves company, right? And it's not misery loves company. I don't think that's quite right. I think misery loves miserable company is more of an accurate statement. So there's part of it in that they want people to be like them. They want to attract this likeness. And this is why narcissistic people, or even abusive people in general, that's why they typically have a fan club, or they have cheerleaders around them saying that they're not abusive, they didn't do that, right? And it's because they have all of the support. And so that's why I say always look for the, you could typically spot the abusive person because they will always have the most support over the victim. The victim is speaking out against injustice and calling stuff out. They don't typically tend to do that. They work by calling you crazy, by saying that, oh, you're this type of person, you're that type of person. And again, they get an ego boost on punching down on people always. And so just remember that, because I think a lot of people get stuck in this feedback loop where we think like, oh, I just want them to think of me as a good person. I just want them to like me, love me. And so they work tirelessly. They overcompensate to try to get narcissistic and abusive people to give them any sort of crumbs of or morsels of love, of validation, of respect, of care and concern, to show that there is some reciprocity in the relationship. Even if they were to demonstrate that it's not genuine, it's not authentic, and so you have to navigate that you have to be more savvy in your navigation and realize that, no matter what you do, you are always going to be public enemy number one in someone's story. So my advice is, if that were to happen, or if that does happen to you, be sure to act accordingly, meaning to don't try to change that person. Don't try to, you know, get that person to like you, or see that they're wrong about you. Avoid that person. Avoid the people that believe what that person has to say, and keep doing you.